One of the concerns that I hear a lot about these days is that as people are forced to work remotely, if they are going to be able to connect and be related to their teammates. And I'm here to make a prediction that actually being forced to work remotely is going to help and not hurt our connectedness. Because just because we're working together in close proximity doesn't necessarily mean we're connected. I know plenty of people who've worked together for years and they're not really related, they're not connected, and they don't feel very close to that other person because we get this false sense of closeness when we are with somebody. But yet, you may have experienced this as I have. When you have a really good friend that you care about and you know they care about you, you may not talk to them for years or at least months. But when you get on the phone with them, you pick up where you left off and you immediately feel that sense of connectedness and closeness. So my prediction is that essentially as we are forced to work remotely, we are going to make a bigger effort to be connected. And ultimately, at some point, when we are able to work together and in close proximity of each other, then hopefully we are going to bring some of these good habits that we've developed with us. Now, in my book, The Transformative Leader, I have a chapter that really talks about this notion of be theirship. It says leadership starts with be theirship. It's a word that I made up, but it really has to do with being there. Now, I describe 4 elements of being there. The first one is being there physically, because what I really do believe is that if you work in the same office, but never get up and go to that other person's desk and you always email them, that's not a good thing. If you're there, actually visit them sometimes. If you're working in a factory, take a walk around the floor and actually go to the physical place where people work. I think that's a really great if you have the luxury to do that. But the other 3 dimensions of being there that I describe really can be done just as effectively in a remote working setup as well. So the second be theirship, if you will, is being available. And I believe here because we're having to work remotely, we are going to put more effort in making sure that we set things up to make sure that people know that we are available to them. You can call me, you can get me on Zoom, you can email me, whatever. So we are going to put some effort into being available and having people know that they can reach us. The third element of be theirship is being in their world. Now, this can be accomplished just as easily in a remote situation because when you reach out to somebody and you inquire about how things are going with them, with their family, hey, I know you're working from home and your kids are home. And so what is that like for you? Is there something we can do to make this a little bit easier for you? And things like that. You're practicing that empathy, and you don't have to be there with them. We are doing this now all over the world. I'm having conversations with clients, and it's just like we're sitting there because I'm in their world, they're in my world, and it's wonderful. You can still accomplish that by working remotely. And finally, the 4th element of be theirship is being there for them. Meaning that if somebody needs something from you, they ought to feel like you are there for them. And this can also be accomplished remotely because most of the needs that people have are not physical. You don't have to be there to do something for them physically. But if somebody has a need for some flexibility, and you are in fact practicing that empathy and you are there for them and you meet their need, they could very easily feel that you are there. So you can see that 3 out of 4 elements that I describe as be theirship or being there can really very easily be fulfilled even in a remote situation. So I hope that you will really take advantage of this situation where people are working remotely and be intentional about how you can be available and make sure that people know you are available to them, how you can be in their world by practicing empathy and really understanding what's going on in their world, and finally being there for them by really meeting their needs to your best ability so that they will continue to have confidence that you care about them and you are there to make life a little bit easier for them as they go through the challenges today.